I grew up in Ghana at a time where owning a television meant you had no other option but to watch the same content everyone in the entire nation was watching. There was only one TV station, which was Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, later rebranded to GTV. Watching the same TV shows meant we all grew up with similar childhood memories, similar perspectives on life as a Ghanaian, and most importantly, we're all influenced by what we saw on TV or heard on radio. In this same country, many years before I was born, a political uprising was not conclusive until the military junta made an announcement of their ascension to power at the GBC. I wonder how it would look like if anyone was to attempt a coup d'etat in present times. They might have to arrange a media tour, visiting all the hundreds of radio stations in the country, invite bloggers and press houses to their base, or simply attempt hacking everyone's social media to ensure consistency in messaging and influence the masses. I also remember growing up in the early 90s when there were still very few media outlets. And on my way to school, my dad would buy newspapers, which I loved reading very much. But sometimes I would see very scandalous titles plastered on the front of these papers, or stories of various individuals who had been involved in one scandal or another. But I also noticed that sometimes, some weeks or close to a month later, a rejoinder would be published in the same newspaper, apologizing and discrediting what was published earlier. However, most often than not, the rejoinder was never published with the same intensity the first one was published. The nature of the media landscape gave little to no room for public interaction or dialogue, as they had control over information. Fast forward to today, when false news is published, it is only a matter of seconds for a million takes and opinions to be formed by Ghanaians on social media, questioning its credibility. Social media completely takes over the narrative and controls the conversation, belittling the official media houses and channels in the process. It has also become commonplace to see the tables turn as the media houses rather feed from news and content on social media to report on their platforms. Seeing this new trend, it's quite obvious who wields the power and the influence now. A lot has changed now. As we, the people, are now the custodians, opinion leaders, and conversation starters, holding the tools of influence and change in our hands. We recently witnessed the Black Lives Matter movement that started in America. And on one Tuesday, in our own small way, by posting a black patch on our Instagram pages, we lent our voices to the global demand for change using our influence. We also witnessed the youth in neighboring Nigeria use influence and hashtag activism to demand change during EndSARS protests. And not forgetting recently in Uganda, as Bobby Wine demanded political change using hashtag activism. If our influence was not capable of driving any change, will Ugandan authorities shut down social media and threaten to arrest VPN users? Or will an ex-presidential aspirant in Nigeria attempt to sue the CEO of Twitter, Jack Dorsey, for supporting EndSARS? The most hilarious one was when the Ugandan government issued a warrant for the arrest of Mark Zuckerberg and Jack Dorsey. If our founding father, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, was alive today, I bet you he would be extremely proud of us. Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah had an undying vision of change using transformational and collective power. When I was preparing this talk, I had a good laugh actually, trying to figure out what it would have been like if Nkrumah had social media in his time. He definitely would have been a social media influencer. But what platform would he have used most? What would his content be like? And what would his Instagram feed mostly look like? Would he just be filling his feed with cool aesthetic visuals, or would he be like Bobby Wine of Uganda, propagating for change and influencing the masses with his posts? Well, my job as co-founder of an influencer marketing platform for Africa grants me the opportunity to work with social media influencers across Africa on a daily basis. A year before launching this platform, I wrote a dissertation during my master's in the University of East Anglia, UK. The dissertation was on the topic social media influencers and the impact on consumer behavior in Ghana. And I must say the insights were riveting and interesting. From a word cloud survey I did during my research, it showed me that Ghanaians online were mainly interested in entertainment, news, fashion, music, sports, and some politics. Also, the average social media user in Ghana, active social media user in Ghana, has not less than 1,000 followers on social media. Can you picture how powerful you would have been many years ago to have 1,000 human beings following you and supporting anything you suggested? Give that some thought. In Ghana, we have a population of 31.40 million people, with 57.70% urban, 42.3% rural. And out of this, we have 15.70% of the total population who are internet users, making exactly half of the population. Think about that too. Also, did you know that according to Hootsuite, the number of social media users in Ghana increased by 37%, which is a whopping 2.2 million new users between 2020 and 2021. If anything at all, these insights should be telling you one thing, that we are slowly building a digital army of opinion leaders in Ghana. However, the real question is this digital army ready to pick up their voices and use as ammunition to implement change? There's a roving myth, which I hear all the time, that you need to be a celebrity with hundreds of thousands of followers to be classified as an influencer. Well, I am happy to let you know that from my experience working with influencers for the past 3 years, this assumption is completely false. Every single one of us watching this TEDxAccra talk on the internet today is an influencer with a phone connected to the internet, a ready audience, some authentic and credible content, and most importantly, consistency in your message. You're well equipped to positively influence people. The continent seeks change with education, housing, roads, sanitation, human capacity, innovation, governance, mindset, and the list is endless. Driving change with influence does not require you being a political social media activist like Bobby Wine or bombarding your social media audience with messages on change. Driving change with influence can be subtle, like simply being intentional with your content. Content that supports causes, drives action, or simply sheds some light on the things that need change. Through the content we post on social media daily, we can tell stories, educate each other, and channel the right energies that drives the change mindset in people. As per the insight, you could be interested in music, entertainment, sports, or fashion, but it should not prevent you from tapping into these passions to drive change in your audience. We cannot depend on our leaders to effect the change we want. Like Obama said, change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change we seek. Nevertheless, there are amazing individuals on the African continent using their influence to drive and demand change. And I doff my hat to them. However, our voices can only be heard at its loudest when we come together as a unit. It's easy for me to sit here and tell people to inspire change with influence and not act on it myself. So since I am not just a dreamer but a doer, I will lead by example and use my influence on social media coupled with my brand and marketing expertise to drive change. Starting this year, I have decided to use my influence to pursue change in the area of sanitation. I will be launching a social enterprise which will aim to change the open defecation status in many rural communities in Ghana by building 1,000 toilets for rural households by 2023. Ambitious, I know, but there's no better time to start this than now. This is my approach. In your own way, I recommend you do a self-assessment and ask yourself, how best can I drive change with my influence? Do you have an audience? Do you have a message? Do you have a smartphone? And most importantly, do you want change? The time is now. The year is 2021. Let's influence the change. My name is Bernard Kafui Sokpe. Thank you.